Morning, everybody. My name is Jason Octavius Kent, and I'm currently attending the illustrious Morehouse College. I am currently a freshman and a business major with a minor in naval science. I'm scheduled to graduate in 2025. Now, a little bit of my background. I am from Union City, Georgia. Born in East Point. Moved to Union City in 2009. I live with my mom, dad, and my three sisters. My first sister just moved out, so that's a pretty big step. And I'm the first of my only siblings to actually go to college in person. Um, my second eldest sister, she is in the National Guard, which means she left for basic when COVID was starting, and she was gone for 10 months, which is much longer than she was expected to be gone for. After that, after she came back, I decided to join the United States Navy. But before I joined, I was given the NRTC scholarship, which basically helps me become an officer in the United States Navy while also paying for all 4 years, putting me up for all 4 years of my college. So I get 4 years of college paid for, and in return, I serve 4 years for the United States Navy. So it's a quick little give and take. Now, I have served. I have already what's called. I went did my little summer, did my first little initial basic training already. Now, through my freshman year at Morehouse, I've met lots of interesting and very different people that I've seen most of my life. Met a few interesting, very interesting people. I met people from Japan, Puerto Rico, Chicago, funny guy, and I met people from Texas as well. They've all given me new experience on how basically the world and how basically news travels about these colleges and things like that. Because I didn't think I thought if you went to Morehouse, you were from Georgia, you heard of this place. I didn't think word of Morehouse actually stretched out towards other states like this, and things like that. Regrets I have for my freshman year. I didn't go out as much. I worked a lot through my freshman year. Or basically all my freshman year, I had jobs. I had night jobs. I missed a lot of sleep, but I did get all my schoolwork done. So that's one good thing I had going for me. Um, got yelled at a lot by tenants and everything like that, but I kept working hard. I kept doing everything I was supposed to do. I continuously go back to my old high school to recruit, and I'll talk to scholars, try to help them not make the same mistakes I did back in high school. Because back in high school, I was not the greatest scholar, and I did my best. And I was not doing my best in my senior year, and I was shocked when I heard I was going to Morehouse. So when I applied just on the basis of applying for a school. Now, as for joining the Navy, the reason for joining the Navy is I wanted to join the military for a long time regardless. My grandfather served in the United States Army for 8 years. I have two uncles who served in the Navy, an uncle in the Air Force. Like I already said, my sister who recently joined the National Guard about 3 years. She joined when she was a senior in high school. So that was a pretty big thing for me. I wanted to join, but I didn't want to join the Army. I didn't feel like dodging bullets with them. I wanted to be defiant and join the Navy. And this was a great way for me to do it. So I constantly look back on some of my life choices and I think, why should I be an officer? Because being an officer, you can actually rise up through the ranks and show positions of power and think like you can show that minorities can be actually things inside the Navy. Currently, there's only what I think there I believe there are only a few actually colored and minority naval admirals currently. I think there are two. There's a 2-star and a 3-star naval admiral. Those are the only minorities they have. So the reason I chose to be an officer was to change that. You can only change big corporations from within. So now I'll take a quick little moment to talk to a few of my compadres here at Morehouse and ask them a few questions about basically why they came here, what are some of their backgrounds, and basically just sit and watch this podcast. Sit and have fun, get popcorn, whatever. Do. Don't fail me. Like TV magic, we're back. Okay, this is my great friend Joshua Walters.
Hello, everybody.
What year are you? What are you?
I'm a sophomore physics major from Augusta, Georgia. My name is Joshua Walters.
He's smart. Sophomore. Physics. All right. Why did you choose to attend an HBCU instead of Morehouse, instead of a predominantly white institution?
Well, back in middle school and my first year of high school, I came to this campus with a program, and just being on campus, feeling the atmosphere, and the brotherhood really made me come over here and choose this school.
Okay, okay. Like brotherhood. That's all HBCUs are about, from what I hear about.
Yeah, it's a great brotherhood.
As a black man preparing to join the United States Navy officer ranks, what will you do to balance the basically? It's predominantly white based. How will you do to help the minorities out?
Well, there's not much I can do directly, but by reaching out to um, schools that have like minorities, like a lot of minorities in there, I can bring them into programs such as the NROTC group here at Morehouse or other HBCUs to have them increase the overall minority population of the Navy.
Oh, you try to bring more colored naval officers in Navy. What you trying to say?
Yes.
Yeah, we're asking big questions here, boy.
Hey.
This ain't John Nugent's class. What trials and tribulations have you faced as a black man in our current society?
Trials and tribulations.
If any.
I'd say some I've faced are stairs like if I go into a gas station with a hoodie on, or just going outside in my Navy paraphernalia. People give me strange looks, ask if I'm really in the Navy or if it's just old Navy, merch, just stuff like that.
Now that you you say you're finishing your sophomore year, right?
Yes.
Now that you finish that, what advice would you give your underclassmen, which would be at this point me?
I would say just keep your head in school. Sure, go out and have fun, but make sure you have your grades up before you go out and do anything fun on the weekends and stuff.
I'm gonna fail. Okay.
Hey, you're just my, I don't know what to tell you.
TV magic works again. All right. This is my good friend Kevin Donaldson. All right. What are you?
I'm black.
That was a bad question. Or meant was, what's your classification towards Morehouse?
My name is Kevin Donaldson Jr., freshman business administration major from Springfield, Virginia.
I did not know you were a junior this whole time. Why did you choose to go to HBCU instead of PWI?
Well, my dad is a 1994 graduate of Morehouse College, so I've always been immersed in the culture. Living in Louisiana, we always attended the Bayou Classic every year around Thanksgiving. Then living in DC, Howard University, one of the most popular, probably the most popular HBCU right now at least. I've always been around it. I went to a predominantly white high school, but I really want to get back to my roots and my culture, seeing as I'd always gone to public school before that. It was a no-brainer for me.
Right. As a black man preparing to join the Navy and Navy officer ranks, what would you do to help balance the basically crippling minorities?
Can you repeat the last part, please?
What would you do to help minorities outside the Navy, since you have such a low officer minorities?
I feel like as far as like the low officer rate, I think it's all about recruiting really. I think a lot of people especially think they just have to go and enlist when that's not the case at all. I feel like a lot of black officers especially leave the Navy particularly early, whether it's because new job opportunities, but a lot of times it could also be a feeling of being uncomfortable. So I think that really the biggest part, as for me, what I want to do is just bring more unity, especially amongst black officers. I feel like there's so many opportunities that can be opened up if we all connect with one another.
Gotcha. All right. See, we got two more. What pushed you to work so hard as life? Sorry. Since you're a big guy, what pushed you to work so hard in life as you have?
I feel like it was basically my parents always pushing me to be the best I can be, pretty much anything. I was pretty independent from an early age, and that's because of them. So I feel like, especially early on, like having goals set up and everything compared to my counterparts, I gotta owe that to my parents.
All right, last question. Now that you finished your freshman year in college, like we both have, What advice would you give upcoming freshmen, seniors in high school?
Um, I'd say ignore the lights. And what I mean is, just ignore the flashy stuff, things that go on the weekend. It's okay to miss a party. It's okay to miss a event. Really do everything you can to jump on it early, get a head start, and keep your GPA as high as possible because 4 years later it's gonna matter. So yeah.
Kevin Donaldson. Okay, we have someone extra special today. Someone who is don't get offended. Someone not from the mainland.
That's solid. Yeah.
See, that wasn't a bad one.
No, that
No,
wasn't bad.
that was the best thing I've said all year. Well, not the best, but not the worst. All right, this is my friend Andres Resto Sanchez.
Mm-hmm.
See, I said it good that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. What is your Morehouse classification?
So I am they call it a rising sophomore now.
Yes.
Yeah, rising sophomore.
You're the first person on this podcast to say that. Everyone else has said freshman, including myself.
Someone like me got to be different.
What's your major?
I started off as a computer science major. I did not enjoy it. I switched over to psychology major. However, the United States Navy did not like that, and they made me switch back to a mathematics major because they wanted a STEM major, and I'm not having a fun time actually.
This is probably the most interesting person I will have recorded today. That wasn't a joke. That's actually they do it outside. What the dog doing? All right, I'm gonna ask you a few questions. You feel uncomfortable? Pull the fire alarm. If you do that, Whip's gonna show up.
Okay.
All right. Why did you choose the attend? Actually, well, first off, how did you hear about Morehouse? Since you're from Puerto Rico, so how? Forgot I was on camera. How did you hear about Morehouse?
So, I actually wasn't planning on leaving Puerto Rico at all. I actually got accepted into the University of Puerto Rico. I got accepted on a history major, planning on switching to psychology when I got in. But the thing is, I applied for the Naval Academy. I did not get accepted because my school did not hand over some papers I needed in time. So that deadline passed and my application was denied, obviously. And I got called by this random guy who apparently got my number through my JROTC instructor. And he told me about the Navy scholarship, and he told me about a special section of those scholarships reserved for minorities. So the MSISR scholarship, I got that, and the one caveat with that is that you have to go to a minority serving institution. That ended up being an HBCU, or I think there are also Hispanic ones, but I'm not really sure. They're way too far, Georgia was close. I have family here, and I decided it'd be a good idea to go to Morehouse after learning that's an HBCU and minorities.
Your question will be a little bit different from everyone else's, but most of the same. The word is gonna be a little bit different. Okay, I don't know too many. I know a few black people who are admirals, but I don't know too many. I know we have a new CO coming in next semester who's gonna be. He's a commander in the Navy. He's Mexican or is he Cuban?
I'm not sure.
Really forgot. I read the bio, but I forgot.
I think he's Mexican.
But yeah, he's coming in. He's actually a commander in the Navy. He's gonna be the CEO of the Atlanta. He's basically in charge of all 6 schools in the unit. And my card just got declined. Okay, that's great. That's great to see. You love to see it. Okay, so basically, how will you, being as from Puerto Rico, being a Puerto Rican man inside the United States Navy, how will you rise through the ranks and try to bring diversity towards
Well, I have a passion not only for the sea but also for the military. I also love people. That's why I wanted to be a psychology major, because it's pretty much the study of the mind, which is in essence what makes people people. And obviously, I'm gonna go through all my schools. I'm gonna go through all the trainings that I can. Every opportunity that I get, I see as a challenge. So if someone says, the Marines are going on a field exercise, I'm like, I'm a Navy option, but I'm gonna do that anyways because why not?
You're the one guy who does that in this hall. No one does that.
I go on the hikes with them. I do go on the fexes. Because I like learning, and even if I'm not gonna use it, just knowing stuff makes me happy. Another reason why I love reading too, and I'm gonna do my best to be not only be educated, but be a people person as an officer in the Navy. Hopefully, rise through the ranks and not only make the Navy a better place for Hispanics, but a better place for minorities in general.
It's great to hear. You know, it'd be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
If the audio was just straight trash, you couldn't hear nothing we said.
I hope the mic's getting everything.
That would kill me. Let me just inch it.
Get a bit closer.
Bit closer, because that would kill my grade.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I understand, you know, I already asked you before cameras on, but English isn't your first language. So how did you actually like learn English? Because you speak it way too well most of the times.
So I'm a little bit different from most Puerto Ricans. A lot of Puerto Ricans mostly, not I can't really say mostly, but a lot of Puerto Ricans just don't really plan on leaving the island, and as such, don't really try to learn English that well. You know, they get enough to survive, but since I was little, I loved reading, and I read a lot of books in Spanish, but also English, and I love watching TV. I used to sit down, watch National Geographic, watch the Discovery Channel, and just absorb it. And then when I got to school, I had a little bit of a head start. I liked writing. I still like writing. What's going on over there?
Don't you love Whitehall?
I love writing, and as I said, I love learning, and I like improving myself most of all, because I believe that not just in the long-term way, but I think that every day you wake up better than the last in terms of living and knowledge. So I learned English and Spanish pretty much side by side as a child.
Last question, I'm sending you back on.
I'm being a little loud over there.
Hold on. Let me just go pause this. What advice would you give your younger self and people back home?
Younger self and people from back home?
I mean, hey.
So
A lot of people I know would freaking travel.
I was one of those children that at a young age was classified as gifted, and I gotta say that I would tell myself to challenge myself more at a younger age, because not challenging myself from a start completely messed up my work ethic later in my career. It really messed up my work-life balance, because I was like, I can pass this class with an A by just like reading the material the night before or whatever, but that doesn't always work.
Yeah,
So it led to me struggling a bit, especially during high school when I switched schools. It was a very different curriculum, and I was not used to it. And when I was put with my actual level of challenge, I wasn't used to it, and I got sucker punched pretty much. What do you mean by advice back home? Like people back home? What do you mean?
Just anything you would tell like people who like any of your friends who would like to come over here, like come to travel, do school, anything.
ROTC or just regular? Just
like anything.
So I would tell them to be open-minded, especially when it comes to other Hispanics. There's this famous rivalry between Puerto Ricans that live on the island and Puerto Ricans that either have one Puerto Rican parent or raised in the States. I would say be open-minded, get to know everyone, and don't judge a book by its cover. And one last thing, it always gets better. Even if you think that you're in a very low spot right now, it gets better, because the only way to go when you hit rock bottom is up.
I chose one of the best guys to pick to come out here and do this. Now I choose one of the most dangerous guys to come out here and do this.
Oh,
I would feel remiss if I didn't pick a Marine. The question is,
I'm gonna guess it's Witt.
which Marine do you pick? You pick the one.
I pick Peoples.
That's the most unpredictable Marine, though.
Oh,
But the question is he here? And I doubt it. But Whips is right there in your room.
the most dangerous Marine.
The most dangerous Marine, because he probably will hit you. So, and that seems more fun, because you can't always tell what people's going to do. But it's much more entertaining to watch Whips go off. Let's get Whips. That's been Russell Sanchez.